When Lena Dubé first started selling vegetables on a roadside corner in Soweto, South Africa, she didn't imagine she was laying the foundation for an empire. She was just trying to feed her son. At only 22, Lena found herself widowed, broke, and raising a 2-year-old on her own. Her husband, Temba, had died in a construction accident, leaving her with grief, debt, and no stable income. Her family encouraged her to remarry quickly. "A woman alone won't survive here," they said. But Lena refused. She had something else in mind. She took the last 200 rand she had and bought a sack of potatoes, some onions, and a few green vegetables. Then she borrowed a rusty bicycle from her uncle and began pedaling through local neighborhoods, calling out to passersby, offering fresh produce at affordable prices. At first, few people noticed. She was just another vendor in a city full of struggle. But Lena had something different. She remembered every customer's name, greeted children with sweets, and gave extra to those who couldn't afford to pay. Soon, people began waiting for her every morning. Rain or shine, she cycled through muddy streets with a wooden crate strapped to the back of her bike. She rose at 4 a.m. to visit the market and came home after dark to read bedtime stories to her son. Some nights she fell asleep in her work clothes, feet aching, arms sore, but each day her earnings grew, and so did her dreams. After a year, she saved enough to buy a second bicycle and hired a young neighbor to help expand her reach. By year 3, she had a team of 5 and a makeshift warehouse in her backyard. She named her business Kanisa Foods to bring light in Zulu. But she didn't stop there. With no formal business training, Lena enrolled in free government workshops and learned bookkeeping, inventory, and digital marketing. She stayed up late watching YouTube tutorials about logistics and supply chains. She reached out to local farmers, negotiated better rates, and began buying produce directly, cutting costs and increasing freshness. By the time she was 30, Kanisa Foods had grown from a bicycle business to a small fleet of tuk-tuks, delivering fresh fruits and vegetables across Soweto. She started supplying schools, restaurants, and hospitals. Her branding, bold yellow crates with Kanisa and clean lettering, became instantly recognizable. Still, Lena remembered what it was like to go to bed hungry. She launched the One Crate, One Meal initiative. For every crate of food sold, a meal was donated to a child-headed household or struggling family. In just 2 years, the program delivered over 100,000 meals. Her impact drew attention. Newspapers dubbed her the produce queen of Soweto. She was invited to speak at women's entrepreneurship summits and even received a call from the Minister of Trade inviting her to join a national business incubator. When asked what made her business succeed, she always gave the same answer: "I cared more about people than profit, and people gave back more than I ever expected." In time, Lena opened a women's only co op where single mothers could learn to run their own market stands with childcare provided on site. She offered mentorship, startup capital, and most importantly, believed in women who had never been believed in before. One of her proudest moments wasn't an award or a speech. It was when her son, now 12, stood beside her at a local community event and said, "My mom doesn't sell food. She sells hope." Now in her mid-30s, Lena leads a multi-million rand enterprise, employs over 100 people, and supplies fresh produce across Gauteng. But she still visits the market every Sunday morning, chatting with vendors and helping her former competitors upgrade their stalls. She often reflects on that first bicycle, that first sack of potatoes, and the long, uncertain road she pedaled alone.
I didn't have power, money, or even shoes that fit, but I had vision and I had a reason. Her story isn't just about business success, it's about resilience, empathy, and lifting others as you rise. Lena proves that when one woman dares to dream beyond survival, she can rewrite the future for an entire community. Let's rise together because somewhere out there, another woman is riding a bicycle with a dream, and the world is waiting for her light.